we are going.
We are live, and I will post this link in the your community.
Okay. Can you also share the link with me in the chat?
Sure.
So we are live in YouTube. Oh, and then I'll double check if it's working. It is. Yeah, I have the link already. Sounds good. So we have 3 minutes from now. We can take another moment to take a glass of water or stop, and we will start at 11. Okay, so we have 1 minute left. Then we will slowly start. Okay, so it's 11 a.m. as for Kyiv time. And I will start with slow introduction. So for somebody, it might be still early in the morning, so people are getting their coffee and tea, and we will give them another minute or so while doing the introduction. I hope, speakers, you guys are ready, you're energetic to share knowledge today, to share your experience after a couple of weeks of preparations all together. So today we have a great chance to hear the experience on very hot topic for business analysis from different points of view, not from talking only experience, but also the locations. And let's do this start. So I want to thank you all of our audience and participants that are already joining. and I would like to welcome you to our first event in Cooperation and Collaboration Trilogy. My name is Lisa Devanchuk, and I am driver of RoomBA community here in West Ukraine. And today we have united BAs from different locations and communities to share their wide experience, opinions from different angles and countries, to share with you the knowledge around the hot topic, as I previously mentioned, for every BA specialist. So every BA from junior to manager is working daily on establishing effective cooperation inside the teams, with clients, between teams, and other peers. So how does a business analyst measure that the collaboration is successful? Or did he went through all of steps of building trustful cooperation? So all of these nuances will be covered by our expert speakers. Please welcome on a stage Mariya Terletska, lead business analyst from Ukraine, Lucian Pavaloi, senior business analyst from Romania, and Zuzana Klimekova, Scrum master and agile coach from Slovakia. So before we start, I will guide you through the most important ground rule, the questions. So as you could already mention, you are watching us in YouTube, and we will be really greatly, really happily to see your questions in our chat. So if you will have some comments during the session, you want to ping our speakers, please feel free to paste your questions, your comments in a chat section. I will be checking on that. I will be collecting all of your questions, and we will ask them in the end of our session to our speakers, and we will get all the answers for you. So I wish all of participants a joyful and insightful webinar, and I will give the word to our speakers.
Thank you, Lisa. Hi, everyone. I suggest before we dive into today's webinar, let's try to make this experience a little bit interactive and engaging. And we're eager to get to know our audience better. So for that, we want to ask you, what's your role? And really, why have you joined this call? What are your expectations? And what we would be so happy to see if these expectations of yours match with what we have prepared for you. Again, as Lesia mentioned, please feel free to ask any questions during the presentation in the chat, and we will do our best to answer them all at the end of our presentation. So I hope now the YouTube chat is filling up with responses. I don't have the chance to have a look there.
I'll be happily answering it to you.
Yeah.
So, but I think we can go forward, and I can answer in a moment.
Right, of course. I'm definitely hoping that some various roles are coming up in the chat, some very interesting ones. I'll gladly come back to that just to get to know our audience better. Next, we have prepared an interesting scenario for the audience. And all right, let's dive into a scenario that probably every software development team can relate to. Picture this: your team is tackling a high stakes project with a super tight deadline. Suddenly you hit a roadblock, and there is a critical issue that needs immediate action. For now, you have two options on your plate, really. You can either roll up your sleeves and work closely with your fellow team members, even if that means maybe putting in some extra hours, right? Or you can try to reach out to an external team that's got the know-how, but that might introduce some delays into the mix. So here it's not about right or wrong choices, but it's more about your instincts. So please tell us, what's your call and why? We're not here to judge, but we're here to tap into your insights. And as we navigate through these topics of cooperation and collaboration, we really want to know what the audience is thinking of this. By now, did we get any replies for the roles? Leia, Alicia?
At the moment, there's only one answer. The senior business analyst looking for here insights on effective cooperation. So people are still waking up. It's early in the morning for us here.
Right, that's fine. Well, while we wait for these inputs, I can share from my own experience a thing or two about this scenario that I'm asking here the audience. So I've been in both scenarios. There have been times when sticking together and cooperating closely with the team helped us overcome the challenges swiftly. But on the other hand, collaborating with external experts at some point has proven to be a game changer, precisely when you know you need that specific know-how. So there's a lot to unpack here, and we're just getting started. Now, I'm hoping there is some engagement about these two options here, and we'll come back to this. Probably some of you are leaning towards cooperation, valuing the team's cohesion, while others might consider the benefits of collaboration for a specialized knowledge. We'll move on to the next slide as we go deeper into the intricate world of collaboration and cooperation. And here I would like to share my perspective on what cooperation truly means for me. And for that, I want to start with kicking things off with a powerful quote from Margaret Mead, a renowned anthropologist famous for her work in Oceania. She once said, "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world." And that's precisely what I believe cooperation aims to achieve, changing the world. I hope it doesn't sound too flashy, right? So when we talk about cooperation, especially within software development companies, it is all about individuals or teams coming together with a shared purpose. It often involves sharing resources, skills, knowledge, but it's not just only about working together, it's about working effectively together, you know? And at its core, I believe cooperation relies on trust. This is the bedrock on which effective cooperation is built. Trust means having unwavering faith in every team member of the team that they will honor their commitments, creating a sense of reliability and dependability. Moving forward, open communication is key. In cooperative setting, clear and transparent communication is vital, as you know. It ensures everyone is aligned, working towards the same goal, and avoids misunderstandings or misalignments. Now, let's discuss also about mutual respect. In this environment, every participant's role and contributions aren't merely acknowledged, they are genuinely valued. This fosters an environment where everyone feels appreciated for their unique skills and perspectives. Next up, empathy. It plays a crucial role in cooperation. Empathy allows individuals to step up in their teammates' shoes, right? To understand their challenges, to empathize with their needs. And this empathetic understanding is a driving force behind effective collaboration. And lastly, but not the least, let's not forget about innovation. Cooperation is a hotbed for innovation. When diverse perspectives come together, ideas flow freely, sparking creativity and lead to novel solutions. It's all about harnessing the collective wisdom of the team, really. Lastly, efficiency. Cooperation leads to efficiency by smartly dividing tasks based on each and everyone's individual strengths. In this way, we maximize the productivity and ensure that everyone operates within their area of expertise, optimizing the overall performance of the team. Right, as we go deeper in this topic, remember that these are just key benefits of cooperation, and there are some more, definitely, that can generally transform your agile development journey. Now, allow me to share an example from one of my last projects. We faced a challenging situation, a short deadline coupled with rapidly changing client requirements, and cooperation became our guiding principle. We trusted each other's expertise and commitments, embraced open and frequent communication, and actively sought innovative solutions to overcome the obstacles and adapt to evolving project scopes. This spirit of cooperation not only that allowed us to efficiently meet the deadline by assigning tasks according to individual strengths, but also enhanced our problem-solving capabilities. It highlighted the importance of understanding and respecting cultural differences in reaching our team's dynamics and decision-making process. Some may say that if you only count on the most experienced team members to do only what they know best, probably the others won't evolve as much. And probably, again, this is a very good topic for another discussion, but let's just say this. Sometimes the scope justifies the means, and some other times it's the other way around. This real-world experience underscores the power of cooperation, and is just one example of how it can positively impact our projects. Right. As we've seen the incredible power of cooperation in our projects, history offers a striking example of large-scale cooperation, the construction of the Panama Canal. In the early 20th century, engineers, laborers, and nations united to build this engineering marvel. And here's a quick insight. When the construction began in 1900s, the Panama Canal was one of the most ambitious projects ever. The initial French attempt had failed, but this time cooperation turned the tide. Engineers faced landslides, diseases, challenging terrain. They even moved a massive amount of terrain, earth and rock, equivalent to 70,000 Olympic-sized swimming pools. Just try to imagine that quantity. And this historic example of cooperation showcases how diverse individuals can collaborate to achieve monumental goals. You will see next how thin is the line between what we spoke so far, cooperation, versus what comes up next, collaboration. And again, I'll start with a quote. Some of you might already know it. Helen Keller, a well-known political activist, once wisely remarked, "Alone, we can only do so little, but together we can do so much." And this beautifully captures the essence of collaboration. It's the art of tapping into the collective intelligence and diverse strengths to achieve extraordinary results. Collaboration is really a process where individuals, teams, departments come together to pursue shared objectives. It's all about sharing knowledge, ideas, skills, and resources to create the innovative solutions, tackle complex problems, manage projects, and reach consensus. We could try to explore some of the key benefits here of the collaboration. Firstly, there's trust, which serves as the bedrock of effective collaboration. When team members trust one another, they are more inclined to share their ideas and take well-calculated risks. Secondly, collaboration fosters open communication. Where ideas flow freely, constructive feedback is welcomed, and problems are usually addressed fast. Thirdly, mutual respect thrives in a collaborative environment. Regardless of one role, contributors value each other's contribution, creating a positive work environment. And lastly, empathy plays a vital role in collaboration. Understanding the perspectives and needs of each other enhances the decision-making and fuels the creative problem-solving. Now, allow me again to share a personal example that illustrates the power of collaboration. In my role as a business analyst, I once encountered a project that truly showcased this magic of collaboration. Again, we faced a short deadline, as it usually happens, and unforeseen technical complexities threatened to derail our progress, right? However, our client and our development team came together, forging an environment built on trust, open communication, mutual respect, and empathy. And throughout some intense collaborative sessions, we managed to discover some unexpected issues that, if left unaddressed, would have impacted the project's success. But we did not stop there. Drawing on the spirit of collaboration, we managed to brainstorm solutions, to share some insights, and taped into that collective insight. The result, not only that we met the deadline, but we also delivered exceeding everyone's expectation. Now, as we go deeper into the world of collaboration, remember this incredible potential that it holds. Now, it feels only natural to share again a real-life example of collaboration that goes beyond the IT realm, doesn't it? Think about this time about the iconic example of the Apollo 11 mission to the moon. NASA's team of astronauts, engineers, scientists worked tirelessly together to accomplish what seemed impossible at that time. Their story is a testament to the remarkable power of collaboration. Consider the benefits of this collaboration. First, trust. Astronauts place their trust on their colleagues' training and expertise, knowing that their lives depend on it, right? Next, open communication. It was absolutely vital. Constant communication between mission control and the astronauts was a lifeline for success. Mutual respect was at the core of this collaboration. Each team member played a vital role, and their contributions were deeply respected. And finally, empathy played a significant role as well. Understanding the psychological and the physical challenges of space travel led to better support for the astronauts. This example demonstrates how collaboration on an epic scale can yield incredible outcomes when trust, open communication, mutual respect, and empathy are present. It is a powerful illustration of what can be achieved when individuals work together towards a common goal. Now I'm going to pass my mic to my colleague Mariya, who has some intriguing question for all of you to think about. Mariya, you have the mic.
Okay, thanks, Lucian. Hello, everyone. So let's talk about a different perspective of view on cooperation and collaboration. And main question, how do you think, do you have cooperation or collaboration in your team? Until you're thinking and until you're answering in our chat, I would like to start from first explanation, how we can identify what we have, cooperation or collaboration in our work. And let's start from first, from 3 points, it's goal orientation. Firstly, every time we are working under some rules and some general directions, but based on goal orientation, we can easily define what we have in our team, what role we are taking, cooperation or collaboration. So when we are talking about cooperation, we are working with goals as individuals. We are working separately in common goal. And we are dividing tasks. So usually in our regular work, in our teams, we have tasks in our sprints, and each of us know what to do next and what is a sprint goal. You remember that you should, before start sprint, you should define goal of sprint and work based on this goal, and all tasks should be related to this goal. So it's about cooperation, because we are dividing our tasks, but we have one general goal. When we are talking about collaboration, it's more about brainstorming or more about working in one huge goal as one organism. We are not dividing tasks. We are not sharing resources. We are just working on all tasks together. For example, when we are preparing some initiatives or we are defining what will be the next topic in our communities, we are working all on one task, define the most valuable and most interesting topic for our audience. So we are sharing ideas, we are sharing resources, and we are trying to achieve one goal altogether. Here is the difference between cooperation and collaboration. It's first difference. So let's move next, and it's leadership. Leadership are dividing between cooperation and collaboration, the same about how we are managing our roles, how we are managing, for example, explanations, and how we are managing some managerial tasks. In collaboration, we have no defined leader, no one leader. We have shared leadership. We have a team of leaders. We have maybe some of roles that can be taken during the long term by different people. What does it mean? For example, again, about our projects, in our teams, we have usually a lead business analyst or lead product owner or lead backend developer, lead front-end developer, in case we have huge team. And this is about sharing leadership. In cooperation, we have more hierarchical structure, and there is a very clear definition of responsibilities. It's more about company structure, maybe in our reality. For example, in EPAM, we have a head of units, we have resource managers, we have in projects delivery managers. It's not shareable positions. It's one or several people who are taking this responsibility, and we know when and how we should came to this person and maybe escalate something or ask about help. It's one person. So in cooperation, every time in each position, we have one or several persons with very clearly defined responsibilities. In collaboration, everybody is taking small part of leadership and supporting huge team during the decision making and during the goal achievement processes. And the last part, but not least, unfortunately, in each team, we have conflicts. It's not because we are bad workers or we are not able to work together without conflicts. Conflict is not about only bad things. Conflicts allows us to grow up. Conflicts allows us to maybe resolve some questions, some blockers, just because conflict it's not something regular. If you have regular conflicts in your team, I have bad news for you. You have a problem in team. But in a healthy team, conflicts is okay. So when we are talking about cooperation, we have about conflicts we are avoiding. We are avoiding any conflicts. We are trying to minimize or resolve all points that can provoke these conflicts under discussions. We are sharing some responsibilities to another persons who are provoked conflicts or who are not provoked conflicts. So we are trying to manage somehow this tough situation and allow our team members to resolve it inside the team. But in collaboration, when we are talking about collaboration, we are reacting on conflicts as an opportunity and as a possibility to learn something. That's why in conflicts, in collaboration approach, we are resolving by the group. So we are meeting, we are discussing, we are trying to find reason why this conflict now appears, what we can gain from this conflict, and for what we are using this situation for further development us as a team. For example, our best maybe situation for conflict resolution in collaboration approach, it's our retrospectives. When we are talking truly about all problems, about all issues that we faced during the sprint, and there for sure can be some interpersonal conflicts, some tough situations with our external colleagues, for example, from client side, and we are starting discussion. We are trying to resolve this problem and find the right way to manage it. So again, for conflict situation in collaboration, we are discussing in group and trying to find, because our conflict, it's opportunity to learn something new, at least how to live with huge amount of people together in one environment, in one direction. In cooperation, we are trying to avoid conflicts any possible ways, but minimize them or resolve them silently. Why? Because in cooperation, again, we remember that when we talked about leadership, in cooperation, we have hierarchical structure, and this person who is responsible, one person responsible for leadership, he or she will try to minimize conflicts because it will ruin his or her leadership, and maybe point fingers pointing to this leader that it's not a good idea to have such leaders. In collaboration, vice versa, we have shared leadership, and that's why we are open to find some maybe approaches how to minimize but get more from conflicts. So let's deeper dive into differences between cooperation and collaboration. And let's start from cooperation. First of all, mutual respect. We remember that we are working with a huge audience every time. Even if you have a small team, we have several stakeholders, we have client representatives, we have managers from our side, from company side. So we are talking about respect. Sorry. And in cooperation, respect, it's priority number one. Transparency. When we are talking about cooperation, we are demonstrating our progress. We are showing how we are progressing, how we are achieving our goals, what to do to be more productive. So we are open to communication, and we are showing outside our progress and our achieves. Shared goals, for sure. We are sharing goal, we are sharing ways to aim this goal for everybody from the top to the bottom. Its main portion, point for cooperation, exactly shared goals. And independent. From one side, each of us, when we are working on the cooperation approach, we are independent, but we are dependent on each other. So as a specialist, as a business analyst, for example, I am independent in my role in general in the team, but I am dependent on my team. I am dependent on goals. I am dependent on managers because their shared goals, their shared approaches, and where we should be in several months, weeks, years. So I am dependent on it. But when I'm choosing some approaches or maybe techniques, how to work, how to aim this goal, I'm independent. But in cooperation, we have huge minus. We are losing networking. Why? Because again, we are working on shared goal. We are working as independent and dependent person, and we are not building this network of support because we are working in closed environment. And cooperation, ideal approach for short-term perspective. Why? Because it allows us to speed up, to resolve maybe some critical problems in the team, in the product, but for a long term, cooperation will ruin us or will ruin our team, and we are not going to finish and to aim our goals just because we are losing our network. Sharing ideas as a group, it means that nobody is a leader, everybody is a leader. Yeah, it's a moment when we are working as one person, even if your team is 100 person or 1,000 person in general, you are working as one person. You are sharing your ideas only when everybody is okay, only when everybody agrees with this idea, only when everybody knows what to talk, how to do, and only after this you are ready to share ideas as a group to outside audience. And yeah, in cooperation, our engagement is huge because again, we are working as a one group, one organism. On the other hand, collaboration. What we have in collaboration? Trust. Yeah, we have in cooperation respect, but in collaboration, respect is everywhere. Believe me, without respect, you are not able to work in general. But in cooperation, we have huge level of respect, but in collaboration, we have huge level of the trust. And here is the first difference when we are talking about how to work in cooperation or in collaboration. For sure, we have vulnerabilities. For sure, we will resolve them. For sure, we will work with vulnerabilities. But in collaboration, they are visible and we understand them. If in cooperation we have shared goals and everybody works on one goal, in collaboration we have shared vision and values. And here is my point why I prefer to work in collaboration instead of cooperation, because vision and values is more important. Inside this vision, inside these values, we can have different goals. For example, when you're working with enterprise products with several other companies, not only EPAM, when we have vendors for different parts of this enterprise, we have only one vision and we are working under at least 20% of similar values. That's why we are working together. And when we start building our parts, it's okay to have own goals. Because, for example, for EPAM, it's important to have high quality, high responsibility, high performance. But for example, for other vendor, not because they're worse of us or maybe better, goal can be earn money, because for now it's priority number one for them. But they are earning in general in one direction, in vision and values that are shared by our client, by our enterprise product. That's why we are talking about shared vision and values, but not about shared goals. In collaboration, goals can be different for different teams. Interdependencies. In collaboration, we appreciate dependencies. We are working with dependencies, and we understand that I can do my work separately. I'm independent, but in other hand, a development team is dependent on me, and I'm dependent on on development team. We are interdependent. We are cross-depending. We are working in close collaboration. Culture. In collaboration, rituals, rules are again based on trust. Freedom is culture. Culture that are building inside the teams, inside the products, inside the projects, and based on shared vision and values. And we are talking about EPAM values, EPAM vision, EPAM trust to us as a professionals. So we are talking about culture that is growing inside the small team or big team, doesn't matter, but culture will appear. And culture includes networking. because we are not separate teams. We are working inside the huge company, inside the huge culture. Long-term approach, collaboration for sure, it's long-term. Collaboration for sure is working with huge projects where we have a lot of communications, a lot of approaches, a lot of different discussions inside the team, and we are ready to work for a long time. It's stable approach. Inside, if we compare with cooperation, cooperation is speed up, define goals, and run. Collaboration is run. But when we are talking about similar visions and values, generation of new ideas as a group, it's not the same that sharing ideas as a group. We are together trying to manage ideas, trying to manage challenges, and we are generating inside the team our ideas. But sharing will be by our leadership, maybe, or by somebody who is ready to take responsibility of these ideas. And empowerment. I think that here is no words needed, and we are ready to move next. To sum up our differences between cooperation and collaboration. Firstly, goal alignment. In collaboration, when we are talking about collaboration, we are talking about shared common goal. Today, the biggest part of my speech is about sharing goals and sharing visions. So again, in collaboration, everything around goal, it's shared, and for sure, when we are sharing goals, we are sharing outcomes, beneficial outcomes, why it should be, what benefits we will gain when we share our goals and when we work with our outcomes. In cooperation, goals can be different. They may not necessarily share, but they will be aligned with other objectives. They will be aligned with general goals, with general vision, and with general culture. When we are talking about relationship, in collaboration, again, we are talking about deep relationships. We are talking about close integration of each person into the team, into the rules, into the processes. In cooperation, we have independence, huge independence. We are talking about independent work. We are talking about me as a person, but on the other hand, we are talking about relationship inside the team. Decision making. I think that it's the most hardest part. Yeah, because every time we are facing a lot of issues when somebody should make some decisions, and these decisions can be very tough. So in collaboration, we have started from cooperation, independent decision making. Each of us is ready to share our own understanding of situation and to make decisions. But in collaboration, we should share our decisions as a group, as one huge team. So in cooperation, I am able to make some decisions regarding business analysis, regarding work with products, how to resolve maybe some products tasks or issues by my own. In collaboration, I should ask the whole team, guys, how do you think? How I can resolve this issue? For example, when I'm trying to arrange some meetings with a client, in cooperation, I can decide that, okay, I don't see free slots for nearest 2 weeks. I'm chatting with client and asking maybe he or she can start earlier or little bit later after the end of the working day he can meet. In collaboration, I should go to the team and ask, okay, team, I have this issue. What do you think? How I should act as a business analyst? It's okay. Sometimes it's needed. Sometimes it's required even. For some tasks, we should work on collaboration because we are not professionals in everything, in all topics that are managing by team. But in general, we are working in cooperation because we are making our decisions by our own. When we are talking about product management or project management, for sure, we are using cooperation mode. Why? Because we have managers who are making decisions based on whole bunch of information that they are getting. And maybe it's not common for us, but their decisions are based on the information that they get. Resource sharing. A very interesting point when we are talking about resources. When we are talking about cooperation, we are talking about exchanging. We are trying to exchange or transit some knowledge. We can share our tasks, but we are not sharing resources in general. So I can ask, for example, our architecture team in the project to support me and help me to prepare scope, especially if it's very technical scope. It's okay. Absolutely. I know that they can do it better, faster, and they can share with me their knowledge. That's why I'm sharing with them my tasks. And we have this exchange. In collaboration, who is familiar with Scrum Guide? From first initial idea of Scrum, we have a team cross. Sorry, I forget this word. Cross expertise. So everybody can do everything. And here is about collaboration. We have a developer who is able to develop backend, front-end, be tester, and be a business analyst. It's okay. We are sharing our resources because for now, for example, we have a bunch of tasks that should be tested, and each of us is ready to test. Next day, we have huge bunch of backend tasks, and everybody is working as backend developers. It's about collaboration when we have sharing our resources and when we are talking about sharing work. Level of integration. We are not independent involved. For sure, we are dependent every time. Even when we are talking about independency, we are dependent. We are depending on different things. We are depending on our mood. We are depending on situation around us. We are depending on our family. We are dependent on our company. And in cooperation, we are talking about independent, at least in the scope of project or product are independent parties who are working together when it's needed, but they can work independent when this need is closed. In cooperation, we are very deeply integrated into work of each other. And here we need somebody on the top and somebody who will tell us, okay, today we are running to this side, great. And then we are running to another side, amazing. And we are running together as a team. In cooperation, we are running only when something happened, we are fixing this, and then we are again working as independent person. And commitments. In cooperation, again, we are talking about short term. In collaboration, we are working in long term. What does it mean in general, to sum up? When you think about how you are working, what you are doing, and what approach you are taking, you should know that both approaches, cooperation and collaboration, it's one part of the general work. We are talking about two sides of one coin. Even if you will prefer to work in cooperation, it's great, but sometimes you will need to collaborate with somebody else. Even if your team is working in collaboration, sometimes you will need to cooperate inside your team because you need to resolve some ideas, some problems, some conflicts. And when you are choosing what approach you should take, please just reflect. Do you have strong leadership who is able to take your responsibilities and responsibilities for your decisions? Are you ready to share goals, or you would like to have own goals inside the shared values and vision? And are you going to be involved in short-term perspective or in long-term? It's the main differences that I would like to stress. And now I would like to pass my words to Zuzana. And thanks a lot for your attention. Thank you for your involvement. And I hope that we will collaborate and cooperate together. Thank you.
Thank you, Mariya. Hello, colleagues. I will start with a little bit harder topic. So now I would like to ask you to think about following situation. What happens if cooperation or collaboration are missing? Could you share with us some of your experiences in such challenging case, using just 2 to 3 words? At the end of our session, we can come back to this and check with you what you wrote, if we can also advise you what to do in such situation. So for the next slide, I would like to talk about our own experience. So sometimes it happens that you feel that something is not right in your project. You struggle, like expected results do not show up, even you try very hard. You, your team, or even your company can encounter several challenges because of missing trust, unclear communication, or even zero mutual respect. So let's check now together several challenges which can occur as a direct effect of missing cooperation and collaboration. So missing communication and misunderstandings are typical in such situation. The team may struggle to identify and address issues, resulting in unresolved problems, decrease even in the quality of the product. Next up is poor decision-making. Without proper cooperation, the decision-making process can be flawed. Not everyone's ideas or inputs are taken into the account, leading to decisions that may not be in the best interest of the team or the product. Typical is also working in silos. Without collaboration, team members may work in silos. That means that they are focusing only on their individual task and failing to see the big picture. Even you as a product owner or business analyst are trying to show them what is the big picture. This can lead to lack of alignment and coordination, causing delays, inefficiencies in the project. So talking about project delays and failures. When collaboration is missing, team members may not feel responsible actually for the success or failure of the product, leading to lack of motivation and commitment. This is connected to the low employee morale. Yeah, lack of collaboration can lead to breakdown in trust, relationships among the team members. This can create a negative working environment where employees feel their ideas are not actually valued and they are not part of one team. So this can lead to our last point, decrease of productivity and innovation stagnation. We can encounter duplication of effort, inefficient processes, and wasted resources. This can significantly decrease the overall productivity. Collaboration and cooperation are actually the key to innovation, and when there is a lack of them, the exchange of ideas is limited, potentially hindering us to innovate and stay competitive. So what to do in such situations? We will check that on the next slide. So let's bring back some positive energy now. How should actually the ideal collaboration and cooperation in IT environment look like? The Agile Manifesto mentions ideal picture. Build projects around motivated individuals, give them the environment and support they need, and trust them that get the job done. Business people and developers must work together daily throughout the project. In these two Agile principles, we see words like motivation, support, trust, working together. So actually nothing new, because those points were explained by Lucian and Mariya. But what about the role of business analyst or product owner? We strongly believe that a collaborative product owner tends to support people in the team in their own discovery process, whether it's about defining goals, clarifying the product backlog items, or analyzing customer needs. So let's check now what to do. So business analyst or product owner helps to actually foster a collaborative environment, which is productive. Productivity in such case means high performance team. Building a high performance team requires not more than just pulling a certain group of talented people together with the right skills. By daily collaboration and cooperation, we can empower step by step ourselves, our colleagues to become high performance team. Such high performance team delivers value. The team understands what the customer needs, wants, and team continuously delivers it. Team is self-managing. Teams internally decides who does what, when, and how. Team does not need micromanagement. Team improves continuously. This is quite important. Team knows that it's working in a safe zone, where is the room for fails and fast learnings. We are learning from our mistakes and making experiments on a regular basis. Next point is actually taking ownership and accountability. That means that the team feels responsible for their work, for its results. Popular word, cross-functional. Team members have all the skills necessary to create value each sprint. But last but not least, autonomous. Yeah, the team has trust of management and autonomy to make their own decisions, which are aligned with the overall vision. How to achieve this teamwork, we will check on the next slide. So let's deep dive into the key steps for better collaboration and cooperation in a team. What you can do actually as a business analyst or product owner. It's a kind of journey for you, for your team, and even for your business partners. Be sure that you are working in one team. That means that the product owner, business analysts are team members. There are not supervisors. There should not be any kind of sub-team, just one team. Define roles and responsibilities. Working agreements with your team can help us with such activity. Goals is to clearly define what each person is responsible for. Expectations towards one another. This can minimize confusion, ensure that all tasks are covered. Effective communication. Here, a good example is sometimes our little bit boring daily, but recurring calls like this and chats helps us to establish open and effective communication channels. The point is to ensure that everyone is on the same page and quickly can address any kind of issue that arises. Shared goals and vision. Every planning activity is crucial. With this, you can ensure that everyone is aligned on the company's or product vision and goals. Shared objectives are important to create a sense of unity and purpose. Remember, one team. Sense of unity and purpose. Let's talk now about teamwork. Together, we value everyone's input and recognize the strength of every team member. Be a role model also in the next step. Building culture of trust and respect. This helps team members to feel comfortable sharing their thoughts, and they are more willing to contribute. In such comfortable environment, a conflict resolution is also much more easier. So collaboration with your Scrum Master on conflict resolution or even your Agile coach and team leads could help you to find and to implement the right strategies for resolving conflict in a constructive manner. So regular reviews and feedback are very useful. For example, we have retro one-to-one sessions with the team members. You can regularly review progress and provide constructive feedback. Continually assess also the cooperation process itself and make necessary adjustments. And not to forget, we need also sometimes to celebrate actually what we were able to achieve as one team. And once again, we are here at the end by the important quote of Helen Keller: alone we can do so little, together we can do so much. So collaboration is the art of harnessing collective intelligence and diverse strengths to achieve remarkable results. And we want to achieve that. Okay, so this was the last slide of our presentation. Thank you for your attention. And we can now continue with Q&A session. Lucian, word to you.
Yeah, actually, it's word to Lesia to see if she got any questions to share from the chat.
Sure, guys. First of all, thank you for so much insightful details on the cooperation, collaboration. I was Googling the information before the webinar, but I was not even close, like 30% of what you have shared. Thank you for that. And we do have reactions in our YouTube chat. And let's start with the last question that Zuzana, you had mentioned. Like, what happens if cooperation or collaboration are missing? Could you share with us some of your experience? And people are sharing. So once, I don't know if they have experienced that, or maybe they expect this could happen. Like, if there is no cooperation or collaboration, there is a chance of losing project to another vendor, which I cannot disagree about that. Then another answer are chaos, conflicts, or fail that can be immediate or in some time when we are like accumulating a lot of discrepancies in cooperation and collaboration. Based on my own experience, I also wrote a comment. Teams get really demotivated, which can impact the productivity in a significant way, and also losing trust, professional attitude, and reputation is a part of missing cooperation and collaboration. Do you have any comments on those answers so far?
Any of these answers were really relatable, because at the end, it's all about this cooperation, collaboration. If you are able to communicate, to share your ideas. And sometimes we need to start to solve the conflicts really in even the conflict solving in a collaborative manner. What do you think? Share these ideas, ask for opinions. So thank you very much for all the answers. And yeah, they were quite similar to our situations.
Thank you. Thank you for your comment. Also, we have a nice question in the chat, which I would like to highlight. So what benefits can be active cooperative when I'm demotivated at the project? So we have a demotivated team member, and how should the cooperation and being cooperative will help him? Demotivation. It's a hard one.
Lucian, Mariya, maybe from your experience.
Well, I think one of the first things that have to be done is to have an open dialogue about it, right? And it may not be the easy choice, but unless you share that information with somebody else, it's hard for others to actually know your feeling. So probably one-to-one conversations with some team members that may not be judgmental or might possess more empathy towards this kind of discussions could be useful into understanding the underlying reasons behind their demotivation. So we should first try to encourage them to express these concerns and feelings. Maybe the next step would be to set some clear expectations, right? If we were to collaborate, let's establish some clear achievable goals and expectations for each of the members. Those can differ very much from one member to another. And this way we can be assured that our goals are aligned both with our skills and interests. Feedback can be another topic that has to be mentioned here, and the feedback and recognition. If there is the possibility to provide some constructive feedback and recognize some of the contributions that person is doing, because I'm doubting they do everything wrong and they are totally demotivated. They must be doing something, at least something good, right? So if we try to recognize at least that part, it's one step ahead. And if we acknowledge the efforts and accomplishments, then it's just one step to another, baby steps towards getting demotivated. Mentoring, coaching afterwards, and trying to improve on the skills development can be the next steps.
You made a whole agenda how to resolve it. And Mariya, do you want to add?
Yeah, I just like to stress exactly from my part of presentation that when we have cooperation, we are working separately, yeah, but we have common goal and dividing tasks. When we have somebody who is demotivated, that means that these tasks are under risk. So from my experience, from my understanding, the best way here to use collaboration to support this person and support these tasks, because first of all, we are delivery oriented. Yeah, we are delivery focused every time, because again, we are talking about performance of the team. So we can, in short term, we can use collaboration approach, support this person. And I'm absolutely agree with Lucian that we should have action plan how to support this person. And from another perspective, we can use conflict approach, yeah, that somebody is demotivated. Okay, why? We can use this situation as a way for learning to everybody. And firstly, for our managers, that, okay, come on, in your team, somebody is demotivated. Are you sure that you're a good manager? Maybe you should think and work with this. Because if you are not motivating your team, then what about collaboration? Which collaboration you can talk about? So here is a very small difference between collaboration and cooperation, but more about leadership and more about trust again, transparency and trust. So every time when we are talking about demotivating, burning out, we should think firstly what we as a team can do with this, how we can support our team member who is now, sorry, but low performer. What to do with person, how to support person, because first, people first, it's the main value for EPAM, people first. Then why we allow this situation to happen.
So you're talking that situation should also have been predicted rather than retrospectively react to that.
For sure, we should work proactively. We should work with our teams and with our clients, because client can be demotivated.
Yeah.
And it's even worse than somebody from team is demotivated. When your client is demotivated to work to be focused on something, it's worse. That's why we should work on proactive approach. And again, manipulate between cooperation and collaboration. Even in one day, you can work in cooperation, and in several hours, you will switch to collaboration, just because for now, it's the best approach to aim your goals. Sorry.
So you have to balance between both of those approaches, a collaboration, cooperation.
Yep, and you should get a feeling when and what should be the most valuable for you, for team, for client.
Thank you so much on that. We have one more question, but also we had answers to Lucian's question on the beginning of the presentation, where you have pasted like 2 cases. If you have a chance, you can click to this slide, because we have a couple of answers, and I'm a little bit surprised with those answers. Like, there's a critical situation, and people would not go to the team to discuss what had happened, but they will go to the expert ones. So we have more answers as option B, rather than option A, because from my point of view, I would like to resolve the issue inside the team, work together and collaborate, rather than go and escalate it somewhere externally to other team. But what is your opinion on the answers?
Indeed, here are there's no right or wrong option. Definitely, it's easier just to go on the more experienced counterpart, or to the ones that have the know-how. But again, that usually induces delays, right? So it really depends on the setup you actually have at that point, if you're able to take those delays in, or if you're just on the limit and you just have to roll up your sleeves and do it. It's one way or another. It depends on the situation you're in.
Okay, thank you. And we have a complex question to wrap up our session. So let me phrase it for everyone. So what if, as a team, doesn't share the general goal, like the shared value why we are here on a project? Imagine the team is working many years together, they're tired, maybe even of each other, and not challenged by the project tasks anymore. How collaboration, or maybe cooperation, can help here better? And who is responsible to build the common goal spirit inside the team? Do we have to blame business analysts to be the ones that has to resolve this? What are your thoughts on that, speakers?
I would like to start, maybe, starting point from the position of agile coach. Yeah, there are several, I would say, challenges here inside this question. So first of all, I wouldn't go with the blaming game. Yeah, actually, what happens, because this is a normal. We are collaborating in really various versions, and it can happen that sometimes you don't feel valued, sometimes you are not motivated. So there are multiple reasons for such situations, and we need to check what is actually happening. Like it's good to have some kind of retrospectives or even one-to-one sessions with each other. Business analyst, product owner can really help here. But first we need to check what are the main causes, because actually there could be miscommunication between the team members. Also, maybe there is not enough space to really put through their own ideas, which is quite crucial for cooperation or collaboration, because they are key for innovations. So together, business analyst is not here alone. The whole team should work on this issue, because in the other case, we are one team. And also you can reach out to team managers of respective colleagues. You can reach out to the Scrum Master, have one-to-one session, to even Agile coach to advise you about several working steps, what to do if you find out that motivation is missing, or what to do, how to, maybe you can also have one-to-one with your customer, with some business partner, where you can find out, okay, what is the actual future for your product? Is there something interesting which could motivate your guys to stay together and work on this product? So there are several steps what you can do. You are not alone there. There should be the case like who is responsible to build a common goal spirit. Even this is part of actually a blaming game. Who has lost this game? Who has actually be the one to responsible for that? Now we are one team. So that's my thought on that.
I would just want to add on what Zuzana mentioned is that even though probably most of the times we are inclined to play this blaming game, we just need to realize it's not helping us moving forward, right? So the moment we decide we're not playing this game, we're trying to see what happened and how to solve it, we're already one step ahead into solving the whatever issue might appear. And besides what you already mentioned, Zuzana, I think it's very important now, once you establish exactly what happened, then try to create a plan to put it in place and watch for the results. It's very important also to have a follow-up after a couple of time to actually see how that plan worked, right?
Sounds good. You know, also here we have like a question, like a general goal. I think that one little instrument that can help to keep teams stick to goal is to set a goal for every sprint, to remind them, like, guys, here we have to complete this, and you will be like already giving them short period goals, and they will feel that they have achieved that. And also badges work good. Just don't forget about that. Kudos to your team. Yeah, thank you for your answers.
Maybe one more thought, what helped actually in my team, we found out that really we have really proactive young people in the team which are eager to learn more. So we exchange on the basis which trainings are they doing, what is interesting, what could be actually pushed more by customer, which trainings are relevant from EPAM side. So at least like find for everyone his personal even goal for the next iteration, together with this sprint goal, let's say, also his own, what would be his own motivation. Okay, that's my last thought.
Thank you. Yeah. Don't forget about your personal goals that will help you reach career steps in the future. Thank you so much. Dear speakers, do you have any advices for the last couple of minutes for our speakers, for our audience, I'm sorry? Like 3 to-dos to make an effective cooperation on a project.
Be honest, understand why you are here, why here is your team, what your customer want and expect, and again, trust your colleagues, trust yourself, and talk to everybody. For business analysts, it's a must. For project managers, for product managers, talk. Yeah, you can hate people, but you should talk. Until you are silenced, you are not gaining your goals. It's from my side.
Thank you. Very philanthropic. Lucian, I see you unmuted.
I was just going to say that I'm totally online with what Mariya said. It's blunt, but it's down as blunt, right?
Sure. Zuzana? Anything to wrap up?
I would say start from yourself. Like really, you want to achieve something without help from others, you won't achieve anything. So you could be a role model here, that you set the clear expectations. People can count on you. What you say, they can count on it, and you support your people. We mentioned collaborative product owner supports proactively actions done by his own team members. So starting from yourself, really be, as Mariya and Lucian mentioned, honest, communicate with your guys and trust them. They will do the best they can.
Thank you. Thank you for your valuable answers, input, knowledge that you have shared and accumulated in this presentation. It was really groundbreaking, and I love the design. You're doing really great. Thank you for delivering your time to this webinar, and thank you to our audience that you have stayed with us throughout the whole event. It was long, but I believe it was beneficial to all of us to review our approaches and our views on those like daily routine jobs, but they're groundbreaking to make the team and the project successful. Thank you, and wish you a wonderful day, and we will see us during a different event in this trilogy, the business game and workshop. Looking forward to hear you and to see you there, guys.